Hijacked at sea. The Achille Lauro crisis. Archival footage of a grand cruise liner slicing through the Mediterranean waves, passengers laughing, waving from balconies, and the sun setting over the horizon. October 7, 1985. As the Italian ocean liner MS Achille Lauro departs Alexandria, Egypt, passengers are lulled by the promise of a leisurely cruise. Scenic views, luxurious cabins, carefree conversations. Among them, Leon Klinghoffer, 69, celebrating his wedding anniversary with his wife Marilyn. Paranoid by prior strokes, Leon moves quietly in his wheelchair, near the heart of a coming tragedy. Act 1. The hijacking. A swift cut to darkened corridors and masked men moving through ship corridors in stealth. 4 armed militants, members of the Palestine Liberation Front, a splinter faction of the PLO, board the Achille Lauro disguised as passengers using forged documents. They seize control off the Egyptian coast, herding passengers and crew into the dining room during lunchtime, turning celebration into chaos. Close-ups of terrified faces. Crew raising a mayday, radio transmissions crackling. The hijackers demand the release of 50 Palestinians imprisoned in Israel. But when Syria refuses them landing, desperation and defiance escalate.
Act 2. Mercy, violence, and global outrage. The sunlit deck, then abrupt stillness. A wheelchair drifts in the sea. Cut to Marilyn in despair. At 3:00 p.m., in a moment of cold calculation, the hijackers choose a target, Leon Klinghoffer. Paralyzed and elderly, he is shot dead, and his body and wheelchair thrown into the Mediterranean. The murder breaks global patience. Outrage erupts. US President Reagan, Italian Prime Minister Crackling, and PLO leaders are swept into a diplomatic tempest unlike any since World War I. Act 3. Operation Sigonella. With passengers released following negotiations, the hijackers escape aboard an Egyptair jet bound for Tunisia, but the US swiftly dispatches F-14 fighter jets and shadowing SEAL teams. The Egyptair plane is intercepted and forced to land at Sigonella, a dual-flag airbase in Sicily. In a white-knuckle confrontation, Italian carabinieri surround US SEAL forces. For a moment, NATO stands on the brink of armed conflict. Amid back-channel diplomacy, Italy asserts its sovereignty. Ultimately, the US stands down. The hijackers are taken into Italian custody under Italian jurisdiction, not extradited to the US. A bitter compromise. Act 4. Aftermath and legacy. Courtroom sketches of the 1986 trial, 1996 furlough and recapture scenes, and echoes of unresolved pain. In 1986, Italy convicts the hijackers. Sentences range from 15 to 30 years. Moltke, who killed Klinghoffer, receives the longest term, though he briefly escapes during furlough in 1996, before being recaptured. Memorials to Klinghoffer, academic commentaries on terrorism, the shocking murder of Leon Klinghoffer, and diplomatic flashpoints like the Sigonella crisis transform global counter-terrorism policy. They shape discourse on sovereignty, terrorism, and the cost of inaction. Closing. Rolling waves at sunset. Archival footage of Achille Lauro. Empty, drifting. Memories of Achille Lauro are anchored in tragedy, but in remembrance lies a lesson. The fragile boundary between safety and terror, between sovereignty and cooperation. Above all, the human cost, a life lost at sea, becomes a cautionary echo for a world still confronting the scourge of terror.